Real people, real breakthroughs. This is the Psychology of Eating podcast, where psychology and nutrition meet to uncover the true causes of our unwanted eating concerns. Your relationship with food will never be the same. Now, here's your host, eating psychology expert, and founder of the Institute for the Psychology of Eating, Marc David.
Welcome, everybody. I'm Marc David, founder of the Institute for the Psychology of Eating, and here we are in the Psychology of Eating podcast. I'm with Monica. Welcome, Monica.
Hi. Thank you very much.
Yeah, I'm glad you're here. And let me say a few words to viewers and listeners who are new to the podcast, perhaps. So Monica and I are going to have a session, and the session is going to be right here with you all now. And we're going to work on whatever concern that she has around food, body, health. And the idea is to take what might normally be anywhere from 4, 5, 6 months to a year's worth of coaching and kind of condense it into one session with the idea to give Monica just maybe a breakthrough, some openings, some insights, and just a new road to follow. So that's why we're here. And Monica, if you could have anything you wanted from this session, if we could wave your magic wand and you get exactly what you would need, what would that look like?
It would like two things. First of all, stop being so fatigued as I have been lately, like for the last 4 or 5 years. And then again, be able to go back to the size I would like to be, which is between 9 and 11, the size. And that's the two things I would ask for my magic wand.
Okay, so more energy and less weight is what it sounds like.
Exactly.
How much weight do you want to lose?
I think it's about like 30 or 40 pounds.
And when was the last time you were at that target weight? If you lost the 30 or 40 pounds, have you been at that weight recently or within years?
No, for years. It's been 4 years since I have started gaining weight.
Mm-hmm. How many years ago would you say you were 30, 40 pounds less?
It was like around 2009, 2010, so about 4 or 5 years.
And Monica, what would you attribute that weight gain to? Why do you think it came on slowly?
Like there are like 2 or 3 things that were happening at the same time. There was a moment in my life I was working too much and too hard, and then I was extremely fatigued because of that. And then I went to see some doctors, alternative doctors, and they changed the way I ate. So in a way, it sounded okay, like take away the wheat, take away the dairy, but I start consuming bigger amounts of food. Mm-hmm. So the ones that were allowed, but bigger amounts of food. Then I was so tired, I stopped doing exercise. I have not always been a great exerciser, mm-hmm. but the little I did, I stopped doing it. Mm-hmm. And I don't know, I started also craving for sweets, things that had never happened to me.
Mm. So are you still on that same diet that the doctors put you on?
Yes, which is increase the amount of vegetables. Try to not eat wheat, but sometimes I do. Like if I go out to have lunch or dinner with some friends in their house and there's something prepared with wheat, I just eat it. I don't care about that.
Sure. So a lot of vegetables. Do you have any protein, fish, meat?
Yeah. In the 3 main meals, I try to include protein, which can be egg or chicken or fish, and then different vegetables like, spinach, zucchini, mm-hmm. carrots. No, carrots very little, but broccoli, mm-hmm. asparagus, a little bit of that. And then I have, like here in Mexico, we eat a lot of tortilla, of corn tortilla. Mm-hmm. So I have some tortillas or toasts. And like in the 3 meals, except in the night for dinner, which for us is around 8 or 8:30 in the night, then I don't have tortillas or chips or anything, just vegetables and protein.
Understand. And do you find yourself being hungry on this diet? Does the food satisfy you?
I get a little bit hungry, and I find it weird, like around noon after having a good breakfast. But around 2 o'clock, I get a little bit hungry. But yeah, that's when I found myself being hungry, not at night.
Did the doctors test you for thyroid health or adrenal health or diabetes?
They tasted everything, and one of the doctors said he suspected this metabolic syndrome because I have a history. My father and my two grandmothers were diabetics. So he said he suspected it, not very much, but he had this suspicion. And even if the thyroid results show to be okay, another doctor, an internist, asked me to do a scan, and some benign nodules appeared. And that's why I am having half a 25 microgram pill of thyroid every morning, half of it every morning.
Got it. And do you know the name of the thyroid medication? Is it Synthroid? Is it Armour Thyroid? Do you know the name of it? No.
It's Eurotirox. Eurotirox.
Yeah. So have you noticed that the thyroid medication gives you more energy?
Well, I noticed I have been gaining some energy through the years, but and the thyroid medicine have helped me a little bit. But I don't feel exactly like full of energy, especially at noon, around 1. I am really tired at that time of the day.
Are you working?
Yeah, I am a psychotherapist, and I meet clients in a regular basis. And I still do also some desk work for different projects.
Are you married? Do you have kids?
No, I used to be married like for 19 years, but that relationship ended 18 years ago. We had no kids. I have 3 cats. And I know I have been quite sad and depressed since I split from my husband.
So are you dating? Are you seeing anybody?
No.
What?
No, it's like for a long time, I didn't want to really be involved into any relationship. And now I would like to, but I still have the prejudice, like, who's going to like me with this body?
Got it. Okay. So when was the last time you dated?
It was like 15 years ago, I guess. The rest of the time, I have lots of friends, which I honor and thank and value. So I go out several times. I have classes here at home with some friends. We get together and we have mythology classes, and we organize like cine clubs and things like that. But we're friends, and mainly women friends.
And when is the time of the day when you have the most energy?
The most energy is at like from 9 till 1. There's one time of the day in which I have that energy. And then again, like from 5 or 5:30 to 8 or 8:30.
And what time do you usually go to bed at night?
I go to bed around 10:30, but I go to read like for 1 hour or something like that. And then I think I fall asleep between 11:30 and midnight.
And how is your sleep? Do you sleep well? So is your sleep solid?
I sleep well.
Yeah.
Most of the time. Yeah. Most of the time. Very seldom I wake up in the middle of the night to the bathroom. But I sleep well.
Have you noticed a time in the last handful of years when your energy felt really good? Maybe it was for a week or a bunch of days where you just felt unusually better.
Well, I feel better. I feel better when I travel.
Mm-hmm.
I feel better when I go to conferences. I love whenever I can to go to these 2 or 3 day conferences in California, mainly in Pacifica. I love that. And then I feel full of energy. I see people there. And I love learning. That gives me a lot of energy.
Mm-hmm.
Learning, studying. I like that.
Mm-hmm. And isn't that interesting, though, that happens?
Yeah.
So on the diet that you're on now, do you tend to eat fast? Are you a moderate eater? Are you a slow eater? How would you categorize yourself?
No, fast, really fast. And even if now I know I have to pay attention to that, many times I caught myself like devouring, really devouring,
Mm-hmm.
without really tasting and savoring and enjoying food, really devouring. So when I catch myself doing that, I stop, I breathe, I relax. But I would say I am a fast eater.
Mm-hmm. And have you noticed that you've lost any weight on the diet that you're on in the last 5 years? Does it go up and down, or does it just stay in one place?
No, it goes up and down, but no more like 2 or 3 pounds.
Got it. Yeah. Okay.
So it's not something that I say, wow, I'm losing weight. No.
Mm-hmm. And are you close with your family?
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I'm close. Every Wednesday, I eat with my siblings and my aunt, who has been like a maternal figure since my mother died.
Mm-hmm.
So we have lunch together every Wednesday. And with my siblings who live in another state, we talk like once or twice a week. And with other one, we email almost every day. So yeah, I'm really close to them.
Mm-hmm. And here's a question I want to ask you. Have you thought about, and this is an unusual question, have you thought about how long you want to live and what you want the next 25 years to look like?
Yeah. Well, yes. And I have thought about that. And just last week, I was talking about that with some friends, actually. And I would like to live no more than 80 years.
Mm-hmm.
And just because I think I could be like quite healthy then and still in professional in the world. And I would like to be, I love what I do. So would love to be at service with somebody. And I would love to teach, and I would love to give lectures and conferences.
Mm-hmm.
And I would love to prepare some classes or maybe write a book. That's what I would love to do.
Mm.
And the thing is that sometimes I find myself tired to do that. But I think just in this moment I am telling you this, like I feel like a rush of energy just by thinking that I can live another, I am 58 almost now. So another 20, 22 years, like fully living my life, sharing at service with somebody else.
Mm-hmm.
That's something I love.
Mm-hmm. So somebody else, meaning having a partner to do this with.
Well, having a partner to do this with would be great,
Mm-hmm.
but being at service with others, being in relationship with people, with groups, yeah, I would love to do that.
Mm-hmm.
And well, there are some projects I do with friends, which I enjoy a lot, because that makes the bond stronger, and I like that.
Mm-hmm. So in those next 22, 23 years, what would be your dream with another person in terms of having a partner? Have you thought about that?
Well, I would love to have a partner who is committed, as I would like to think of myself,
Mm-hmm.
who is a loving person, with whom I can talk and share, and we can go maybe to concerts, we can travel, we can talk, we can exchange readings, and we can also have fun and dance and sing. That's what I would like.
Got it. Okay. Well, you know, Monica, I have some thoughts, and I would love to start sort of putting them together and sharing with you just some of my observations and some of where my mind goes. So, to me, it's maybe there's maybe three things that you're looking for. Actually, you're looking to get your energy back. You're looking to lose weight, and it also sounds like you're looking to have a happier relationship with your body, so you love your body more.
Yeah. Yeah.
So here's a couple of things just from the medical, metabolic, or health standpoint. The fatigue, the low energy. So you're taking a thyroid medication. It's okay. Maybe it's making a difference. Maybe it's not. There's always other places to look from a medical standpoint to see, what might be affecting your energy. You might want to get tested for something like Lyme's disease. It's possible that you might have adrenal fatigue. And it's possible that the thyroid issue is there, even though you're getting thyroid medication. If you have history of diabetes in your family, I would love for you to get checked again, just to see what's happening. Because if there is diabetes or pre-diabetes going on, there's ways to, add really some just natural approaches to that can potentially be of help, especially when it comes to weight. But what I want to focus on with you, and this is sort of how my mind works. A lot of people just look to the body first. Well, let's fix the body. Let's fix the problem with the energy. Let's fix the problem with the weight, and that's fine. Sometimes we have to go there first. And with you, I'm looking at the big picture right now. I'm looking at the big picture of your life. And to me, there's oftentimes there are bigger lessons that we need to learn in life. There's just the bigger movement that's happening for us. And for me, I'm particularly interested, when I was asking about relationship, and your relationship ended, I think you said, 19 years ago, yes? And when I asked you if you're dating, you sort of said to me, well, I'd like to, but who would want to date somebody with a body like this? And that makes me pause for a moment and really listen, because that's what I would love to see you change. If you know that you want to live 22 more years, I would love to see you take those 22 years, look at them and say, who do I want to be? And start moving in that direction now, especially if you're 58. We have to be very intentional at this stage of the game. It's not like you're 18 years old and, I could do this, I could do that, I can go here, I can go there. No, you have your career established, you know what you like, you know what you want to do. You pretty much know what you want. That's a great thing. When I asked you in terms of the rest of your life, you know what you want with your career. I had to ask you about relationship. There's a part of you, it feels like you've almost put that off to the side and say, this is not possible. And to me, I don't think that's who you really are. Let's just, it's almost as if you said, I'm going to just put my career to the side. If you said, I'm going to put my career to the side, then you wouldn't really be you. So to me, a big part of the fatigue and a big part of the weight issue is that there's a place where we can feel heavy. like feel heavy.
Yeah.
And oftentimes when we feel heavy, the body will take that on. So first and foremost, I want you to do everything you can to feel lighter. And I think, and in my experience, our metabolism is powerfully impacted by our story and our journey. So there are people who have events happen to them, sometimes even in childhood, abuse, emotion abuse, physical abuse, sexual abuse, and we carry that a lifetime, and it can bring health issues and health challenges and eating issues. To me, your heart's been hurt a long time ago, and I think it's time to start to heal that in a whole different way. So I feel that just knowing the little bit that I know about you right now, I feel that you have a beautiful sense of maturity and wisdom, and you know yourself, and you know what your gifts are, and you know how to give, and you're of service to others. There's a place where I want to see you be more selfish, but selfish in a good way. And I would really love for you to make relationship important for you, because I know it's important. So it's almost like taking it out of sort of the box. I feel like you put it in a box and you close the lid. And I want to say first and foremost that it's absolute nonsense that somebody's not going to love you for who you are. That's just a belief. I'm sure it's, you tell me, do you know people, do you know women who have a body that's similar to yours in any way, and they have a good relationship and they're with somebody that they love? Have you seen that before?
Yeah, I have. And in fact, from my perspective, I love big men.
Mm-hmm.
I like big men.
Yeah.
So it could be easy to think that there are men who would like big women.
Trust me, there are. There
Okay.
are. They like it. They prefer it. We men have our preferences, and women usually don't understand, because you're women and you're not men, so you don't understand. Are there men that want the Hollywood, this, that, the other thing? Yes. Are there men that don't care about that? Yes. You don't want to marry thousands of men. You just want to find one.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. So it doesn't matter if thousands of men prefer this or that or the other thing. We don't care. We just care about one. And if somebody doesn't like you for what you look like, then what a wonderful thing. You could just cross them off the list.
Yeah.
And you don't have to waste your time. But you are, in a strange way, you're being unfair to yourself, and you're being unfair to the men of the world who would want a good woman like you, because you've taken yourself off the market because you've said, well, no one's going to like this. And you have no proof of that. And I'm telling you it's untrue. Because I'm like you, I'm in the world, I'm around, I see people, and I see people in loving relationships of every age and shape and size. I see men and women who are beautiful and they have miserable relationships, or they don't have a relationship. So it doesn't matter.
You're right.
So I'm asking you to put an end to that chapter of your life. The chapter that says, I'm not available, I'm not looking, nobody would like somebody like me. What I'm saying is, I think a lot of your fatigue is tied up in that. I think a lot of your weight is tied up in that. And it doesn't mean that there's not something going on organically in your body. And if we can test this and test that and test that, we'd find abnormalities. But the thing is, oftentimes, those chemical changes in the body happen because of who we're being. So if I if I'm putting myself in your shoes, and you're such a loving woman, and you're a generous woman, and you give a lot, but you need to receive. And it's just part of life. And if you love so much, then usually it also means that you like love to come in. And to stop that and say no, you've kind of said no to it. If I was in your shoes, I would get tired. I would get tired because I'm not being fed on that level. I think there's a place where you're not being nourished. So you can follow this diet, you can follow that diet, and at the end of the day, the diet is not enough. It's not enough to get you where you want to go. I often say and teach that when we become the person that we're meant to be, the body has the best chance to become what it's meant to be.
Yeah.
So you don't need to lose weight to find a man. You need to lose the belief that you need to lose weight.
Okay.
That's how you find a man. So forget about it. I would love to see you let go, and I really mean this, of losing the weight for a while. It doesn't mean that you don't stay on the diet, but now is the time, and I mean this, now is the time in your life to turn the corner. Because sometimes life just gives us an opportunity. Sometimes it's New Year's, we start a new year, and you make your New Year's changes and your resolutions. So this is like New Year's for you, this time in your life. And it's the perfect time to make a change, and the change is to be in your life as if you're new, you're fresh, anything is possible, and you're ready for love, and you're open to it.
Okay.
And you're not saying, no, love can't come in because my body's not pretty enough. My body's not this enough. My body's not that enough. What kind of nonsense is that? Says who? You're telling men how they should feel about you. We could starve you for 60 days right now, make you lose a bunch of weight. Then you go, oh, wow, look, I lost all this weight. You're starving. And then a man shows up. And then maybe he's going to fall for the starving person who hasn't eaten in 60 days, who could care less about you, but sees the person who's 40. Who cares? That's not the guy you want.
Yeah, exactly.
Maybe you lose weight, maybe you won't. We don't know. That's less important. What's more important is you being the person that you're meant to be. It's more important that at this stage of your life, at 58, you get clear about who you are. And for you, here's a piece that I think is important. It's about you believing that you deserve love. There's a place where I think that you think, I don't deserve this. I'm not good enough for this. And this is not true. We buy into what the culture tells us, what the world tells us, our parents, our family, our friends, the magazines. We buy those false beliefs. We have to be strong. You're a psychotherapist. People come to your office. A lot of what they believe is the nonsense that they learned.
Exactly.
Is the nonsense that somebody told them, oh, you're like this or you're like that. Well, no. So we have to be strong enough to say no to the beliefs and the thoughts that limit us. So what I'm saying is, I would love to see you from this day forward to make important, to put it on the top of your list. I am ready to start exploring relationship. And you put yourself out there and you talk to your friends. You let them know you're available. If anybody knows anybody to introduce you to. I don't know how I know it's not easy to meet people. It's not easy to meet people, but this is also a day and age when there's internet dating sites. There's matchmakers. And there's men and women out there in every age group who are looking for someone. So even though it's hard, in a strange way, it's easier with the internet. And if you have friends and it's your intention and you keep putting it out and you make yourself available. But the important thing here is that you have to start to feel inside you that I deserve this, and none of this is dependent on my weight. You're letting a number on the scale tell us. If a patient came into your office, if a client came into your office and said to you, Dr. Monica, I'm, I have this life and it's really wonderful, but, and I have a great family and I'm connected and I love my work, but I really can't love myself because I don't like how I look and I need to look different, and I'm not going to love myself and I'm not going to give myself what I want until I lose a certain amount of weight. You might look at them and think, nah, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
You would probably work with them and say, no, we don't have to wait for you to lose weight. We don't have to wait for your looks to change. It sounds silly when I say it, but it's hard because it's like a virus. It's like a disease that we take on these thoughts. And I call it a virus. I call it a parasite so we can understand that they don't belong inside of us. The parasite doesn't belong inside us, but it finds a home and it eats away at us. So it's our job to stand up to it. And you can stand up to that by your actions. Yeah. And your actions can be, I'm available for love. When I asked you, when was the times you feel best? You said, when I travel and I go to a conference, you're engaging with people. You get away from your normal place. Oftentimes when we get away from our where we live, our home, our office, our work, we have an opportunity to leave behind some of our patterns. And when you're traveling, it's kind of like you're new. Nobody knows you. And you're around people who have similar interests, but you're moving towards an environment where you're being who you want to be. And there's a sense of possibility and there's a sense of openness. You have that with your work when you go to a conference or you go traveling. I want you to have that sense of possibility with relationship. When you have a sense of possibility, you magically have more energy. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. When you're doing what you love, you magically have more energy. That's interesting. So in addition to taking the little thyroid pill, which is supposed to help the thyroid and give us more energy, I want you to do the pill in life that gives you more energy. So yes, it's about your profession for sure, but I think you're good at that. You know how to make that work for you. And yes, I know you want to do more, and you can. But I think this other piece about relationship and love and having a man in your life, you need to honor that. You need to honor that. You need to be the queen here. You need to be the queen. And the queen sits on her throne because you're a queen. You're not a little princess. You're not 18 years old. You're not 25 years old. You're 58 years old. And you've been on the planet a while and you know how things work. And you've had heartache. You've had hurt. You've had love. You have love in your life with family, with friends. And you know what you want. And the queen doesn't sit on her throne and say to her queendom, she doesn't say, oh, I don't know what I want you all to do. And I don't know what to say. And should I lose weight? And will you love me better, everybody, if I look different? No, the queen doesn't. The queen, first of all, she loves, and she knows she's loved because she loves herself. She's not worried about you. Okay, if I lose this weight, will you all love me more? The queen doesn't say that.
No, that's crazy.
Right? It's crazy. So the queen loves herself for who she is. So this is literally something I'm suggesting you need to start practicing every day. Mm-hmm. I want you to practice being the queen, and I want you to stop apologizing for how much you weigh. Yeah. I don't care what anyone says. As soon as somebody says something, even if it's someone you love, even if it's someone in your family that says, Monica, God, if you could only lose weight, that would be so nice. You say, you know something? I just want to say, here's a way that you can really support me and love me better. Stop saying those things. I'm fine who I am. This is what I weigh right now. Maybe I'll lose it. Maybe I won't. If I'm 90 years old on my deathbed and I haven't lost the weight, are you going to tell me when I'm dying that, God, Monica, I wish you would have lost the weight? I would have loved you better? No, it's a bunch of nonsense. So we have to educate the people around us.
Mm-hmm.
We have to educate them in how to better support us and be with us. If your family and friends are saying little comments that bring you down, you have to be responsible and point that out to them.
Okay.
You have to stand up for yourself.
Mm-hmm.
There's a part of you, it's almost like a little girl apologizing because she's not skinny. So, would you like to lose weight? Sure. But I'm suggesting put that to the side because you're making what your body looks like dependent on if you deserve love. That's the sickness here. That's the disease that I want to help you get rid of. That's a bad disease, meaning the belief that I can't get love until I have more patience or I have more money, or I can't get love until my body looks like this or looks like that, or I lose a certain amount of weight. And then all of a sudden, one day the scale says 135 pounds and you go, yes, now you could love me. No. So this is a practice for you. This is a practice that you do every day. I would love for you, and I really mean this, I want you to start slowing down with food. I want you to become a slow eater. I want you to be like a European. They take time for meals. Even in Mexico, I've seen people take time when they eat. You sit, you relax, you eat slow. But eating slow means you take in the food and you love it and you enjoy it because you deserve it.
Yeah.
You deserve that time. You deserve to feel nourished by the food. Eating fast is a habit. For a lot of people, it's automatic. It's unconscious. We just do it. It's like chain smoking. We can't control it. But what happens is when we eat fast, we're signaling the body and saying that food is unimportant. Eating fast is a stress to the body. Body's not designed to eat fast. So it goes into a stress response, which will shut down to some degree digestion and assimilation. Means we'll excrete nutrition, we'll excrete macrominerals and microminerals, we'll excrete water-soluble vitamins. And over time, when we're in a low-level stress response, we produce a little more stress hormones and it signals the body to hold on to weight. So the body heals and it regenerates and it reaches its optimum function when we're in relaxation response. Parasympathetic nervous system dominance. I want you to start giving your body the signal that I am nourishing myself with food. Which means you eat slow, but slow means relaxed, it means enjoy, it means sensual, it means pleasure. If you had a date with a man right now, let's say you were going on a date, and you sat down to dinner, and he seems like a nice guy. And you kind of like him so far, and you sit down to dinner. As soon as the meal comes, and he starts eating really fast, what would you think? Would that be a turn off? Would that be a turn on?
Turn off.
Turn off,
Definitely.
right? Yeah. So eating slow is a way to turn yourself on. It's a way to be present. It's a way to change your metabolism, and it's changing your relationship with food because there's a part of you that feels like it might be very deep, but looks at food a little bit like the enemy because it's going to make you fat. If the food makes me fat, more food makes me fat, less food makes me less fat. So a part of us, okay, well, just let me get this over with quickly. Yeah. And that's not how life works. Life is brilliant. The wisdom that created us is brilliant. And we can't run away from ourselves. We have to be with ourselves. We can't run away from eating. We have to be with eating. We can't run away from our heart's desire. We have to be with our heart's desire. So my heart knows that you're going to have more energy when you start to be the person that you're meant to be. When you start to give yourself the thing you're hungering for. And I really think for you, it's love and it's connection and it's relationship, and it's putting yourself in that possibility. Because you might not meet somebody. You might get hurt again. We don't look for love again because of the fear of being hurt. And this is where you have to use everything you know and everything you've learned. Since you've been alive, you've learned a lot. And you have to be young again. And young again means when you were young, you were willing to date and be in a relationship and wow.
Yeah.
So you have to be young again inside yourself. And young again means I'm willing to risk. I'm willing to put my heart on the line. Yeah, you're smarter now. You're going to look for certain things. You know about men what's much more than you knew when you were a young girl. And I want to say this. The truth is, even if you met somebody, and even if you were with somebody for a year, and even if that person left you and turned out to be mean, I think you would still be okay.
Yeah.
Because you're mature. You've been there before. You've been hurt before. Would it hurt? Yes. But would you survive? Absolutely. So all I'm saying to you, I'm just trying to say that there's a place where you've put aside relationship and love because you don't want to get hurt and you don't think you deserve it. So I'm saying you have to look at why you've put it aside. Oh, I don't think I deserve it because my body, blah, 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 and my weight, blah, blah, blah. So I'm saying that's a bunch of nonsense because love doesn't care. And you know that. You've seen that. There's all different kinds of people of all shapes and sizes and ages who love each other to pieces. My grandparents, my grandmothers they were big women, and they had men who loved them, and they were amazing, and they had amazing. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. So I'm saying also that there's the place where it's you knowing who you are and you knowing that you can trust that you'll take care of yourself. You can trust that you'll take care of yourself if it doesn't work, if it is hurtful. You might date 5 different guys before you meet the right one. So you also have to, and I really want to be a dating coach for you right now. That's okay. And maybe you can find a friend or a professional who can really help with this, who can really be your dating coach, your dating cheerleader. Because you have to be young again. You have to be willing to go out on different dates. And some of them are going to work and some are not. You might go out on a date and know after 5 minutes this guy's not for me. And you have the meal, kiss goodbye. This isn't going to work.
Yeah.
It's because you don't need to waste your time. This is a time in your life you don't need to waste your time. And it's a time in your life where you have an idea of who you are and what you want. So again, I'm saying your energy will come back when you start allowing yourself to be the person that you're meant to be, and you start feeding yourself the food that you really need. And some of the food that you need is love and connection and intimacy. In my heart of hearts, I believe that a lot of the fatigue and the heaviness is from you living back there 19 years ago and saying, okay, I was hurt and I still feel hurt. Well, here's the thing. When you start dating again, it's going to bring up some discomfort. It might bring up fears. It might bring up hopes. It's going to make you feel uncomfortable. Perhaps. And that's a good thing. Because then yes, that's what I'm saying. It's going to make you feel uncomfortable, but then you can start to see the places where you need to look at. Oh my goodness, I'm afraid of being hurt. And then you just be with yourself. You don't have to sit there and tell the person you're dating, I'm really afraid of being hurt. You better not do this. You better not do that. No, that's not what I'm saying. But it's time to start healing that. And the way you heal it is you get back into relationship with men. You get back into relationship where you're available and you're willing, and that process will teach you where you need to do some work on yourself. Because you might start to say, oh, I'm really concerned. Oh, maybe he thinks I'm too fat. Oh my goodness, he's not going to call me again. You might have to go through that. But that'll make you stronger.
Yeah.
So it's being willing to let the wisdom of life kind of guide you in this process. And you have to be willing to be maybe a little uncomfortable with what comes up. Because that's going to teach you how to grow into the kind of woman that can draw in, attract the relationship that I think you really deserve.
Mm-hmm.
How's all this landing for you, Monica? What do you tell me what you're thinking or what you're feeling here?
Well, my mind is like, as you are saying things, it's like I want to do it, and still I feel like, oh my God, how am I going to do it? Like willing to do it and afraid, both things at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
And but yeah, I'm listening to you, and I'm willing to start asking my friends to introduce me people, and start dressing like more sexier,
Mm-hmm.
because I know I have had like a label here that says occupied, go away, no?
Yes.
And well, now maybe I can take that out and say, here I am, no? But still it feels a little bit of fear here, but I think it's okay.
Yeah. Let me ask you a question, Monica. Right now, how is your energy level compared to usual? How does your energy level feel right now? Yeah, it feels good.
Better.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So
Exactly.
just by talk, and I could see that you literally look like a different person right now. First of all, you look 15 years younger, at least. You're glowing more because you're considering, you're thinking, you're trying on like, wow, oh my goodness. You're feeling this part of you. That's where your energy is. There's a lot of energy in your feminine, in the part of you that wants to love, wants intimacy, wants connection, wants touch, wants to feel like a woman. Yeah. There's a lot of energy there for you. Mm-hmm. So when you start to think about it and talk about it, I was like, oh my goodness, I feel this energy. Yeah. And just pointing that out, how your energy changed and you didn't eat anything, you didn't take any thyroid medication right now, you didn't drink any coffee. All we did was talk about a topic that tapped into this place inside you. So fear is good here. The fear is good. The anxiety is good because it's oftentimes fear really means excitement, but it doesn't quite know how to be excitement yet.
Exactly.
Yeah. And so as soon as you take off the little sign that says occupied, and now the sign says available, that makes life more exciting.
Yeah.
That makes life more exciting. Even if you don't meet the right guy tomorrow or next week or next month, you're still available. And it could happen anytime. It could happen any day. You don't know when it's going to happen. And this is, I think this is like a gift that we give ourselves. This is a gift you can give yourself. And the gift is you saying, I'm worthy of being in relationship as who I am right now. This package right here, this Monica, this is where the action is. This has value. This is what you want. And like I said, you don't need thousands of guys. You don't need hundreds of guys. You need one. So we're just looking for one. Just looking for one. And I think there's someone for everyone. I really do. And the work, if I walked outside right now and said, I am not available to talk to anyone, and if I have this belief, I don't want to talk to anyone. And when I walk around, I'm going to have this look on my face that looks like I don't want to talk, and maybe my head is looking down. Nobody's going to talk to me. And if somebody does talk to me who wants to talk to me, I won't notice them, or I'll yell at them, or I'll bark at them. So people, we communicate like that. We communicate silently. So much of communication happens below awareness. We think everything is what we say. No, it's in the unsaid that people are constantly picking up. So if your invisible sign says, I don't want to be in relationship because I'm not worthy, then people read that sign and they move on. So you're going to change that now.
Yeah.
You're going to change that. And and it's exciting. And I would love to see you involve as many people as you can, your friends and your family and your loved ones, to say, I'm available and I want to meet some good eligible men.
Okay.
And if there's younger people in your circle, family or friends, you might want to ask them, how do I do this online? Where do I go? I want you to try everything, and I want you to have support in this. I want you to have at least one girlfriend who can talk to you about this, where you could share what's happening, what you're doing, what's working, what's not, what your fears are, what your excitements are. Like, I don't want you to do this by yourself. Does that make sense?
No, absolutely.
So is that possible?
Absolutely.
So it's possible to have friends who are kind of being your support and your cheerleaders, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so there's your practice. So the practice is to start to feel the feeling. So it's a feeling. What would it feel like for you to be available? And it's a feeling that happens in every moment. So it's not just when you're on the date. You have to feel available when you're sitting here talking to me. You have to feel available when you go down the street and go shopping. You just have to, what does it feel like to feel available?
Yeah.
Part of it is you have to be in your body. Hello, everybody. Hello, world.
Mm-hmm.
Here it is. I'm available. So it's starting to relax into your body, and part of it is you loving yourself a little more. So when I asked you to let go of losing the weight for a little while, it doesn't mean let go forever, but I really want you to focus on love, relationship, dating, and I would love for you to focus on who you need to be to start being a single woman that is looking to be in an intimate relationship that will give you energy, that will give you something else to occupy your time and your mind, which is way more important at this point than losing any weight.
Yeah.
And I promise you, once you start to do this, things are going to change for you. Your energy is going to be different. And my feeling is that your body can't really shift until you have this shift, until you start to be the person you're meant to be. You can't say, we can't cheat. We can't cheat the universe. We can't say, okay, universe, okay, God, I'll be the person I'm meant to be, and do the things I'm meant to do, but only when I lose 20 pounds or 35 pounds.
Yeah.
It doesn't work like that. We have to be the person we're meant to be now, and then from there, whatever happens, happens. But I'm saying that's going to change your metabolism. It's going to change your body. It's going to change your outlook, along with you starting to be in relationship with food differently. The thing I'm asking you to do with food, slowing down and eating, is kind of the same thing I'm asking you to do with men. I'm asking you to be present with it and be available to food. You're not even available to food right now. It's you're trying to diet. Your food is this thing that makes you lose weight or gain weight. You have to be with food that is something you eat and is something that helps you live and is something you enjoy. So you have to reintroduce food to your body in a whole different way. You're reintroducing food to your mind and your heart in a whole different way. Does this make sense?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And I know it makes sense because my heart and my stomach are telling me that.
See? And the heart and the
Yeah.
stomach, it's all connected. Everything is connected here. All of it, all of it, all of it. When the heart's heavy, how could the body not feel heavy?
Yeah.
You know, so it's time to let the heart be lighter. When the heart is lighter, the body can feel lighter. When the body can feel lighter, anything's possible.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm happy for you. I think we've discovered something here for you.
Yeah. Yeah. And you know what? Sometimes maybe I have had some thoughts about it, but it feels so good when somebody is able to witness that and give this feedback.
Yes. Absolutely. Absolutely. So you're going to feel like a teenage girl sometimes in this process. You're going to feel very young.
Mm-hmm.
How wonderful is that? How good is that? You feel young. I'm nervous. I'm shy. I'm being like a little girl. Is he going to like me? What should I wear? Is this going to work out? Oh my God, what happens if he does? So that's life.
Yeah.
And I want you to trust yourself that you're a grown woman and you could take care of yourself no matter what happens.
Yeah. Yeah.
Good job, Monica.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Thank you very much, Mark.
Yeah, I have a very good feeling about this for you. I really do. And I think if you do some praying on this and really, you know, I don't know what religion you are, but really ask for help here on every level, and, you know, really tap into how, to me, in a lot of ways, this would be a wonderful thing in your life for the rest of your life if you had that connection. So give it space. Let it be possible. And then life will dictate what'll happen, but you have to step up and say, okay, I'm willing. I'll do what it takes.
Yeah.
I'll stop pushing people away because of how much I think I need to weigh so they can love me. So you take away all the conditions, and then you let the magic of the universe take over.
Yeah.
Thanks for doing this, Monica. Thanks for being such a willing client. I appreciate that.
Thank you very, very much, Mark.
Yeah, and we'll follow up in several months and see how you're doing, okay?
Sure.
Yeah,
thank you very much. Looking forward to that.
And thank you so much. Thanks, everybody, for tuning in. I'm Marc David, founder of the Institute for the Psychology of Eating. On behalf of the Psychology of Eating podcast, lots more to come. I hope this was helpful. Thanks for listening to the Psychology of Eating podcast. To learn more about the breakthrough body of work we teach here at the Institute for the Psychology of Eating, please sign up for our free video series at ipe.tips. That's I for Institute, P for Psychology, E for Eating.tips, TIPS. You'll learn about the cutting-edge principles of dynamic eating psychology and mind-body nutrition that have helped millions of people forever transform their relationship with food, body, and health.